All right, so I got a call that this car was making a lot of noise and that they saw wires under it, and it's a Prius. So we can see some wires hanging down there, and it looks like we are missing our catalytic converter. So apparently these are pretty common to be stolen. So I talked to the owner, and we're gonna throw another one in there. This is the loudest Prius I've ever heard. So let's get it up on the lift and see what we're dealing with and see how we can fix this pretty easily. Alright guys, so here's our new catalytic converter. I'll put a link in the description on what we bought. We had to buy a new O2 sensor as well, which is over there. I'll link that. So let's see what they did to us here. So it looks like they just lopped it off right here, or maybe this was, but it's such a clean cut, we didn't see any shavings that I'm not sure if it was like a clamp before. And then they actually unbolted it up here. So whoever did this, now apparently the Priuses are known to get these stolen because they're worth about $1,000 in scrap. So whoever did this knew what size bolts these were. I mean, they were in and out quick. They knew what they were doing. They came in, believe it may have been like, you know, at his house, maybe they saw his car. But yeah, these are most frequently stolen after a little bit of research he and I did. So here's our cut O2 sensor. So we're gonna have to replace that. I'll show you that when we get to it. But I'm gonna slide the new one in, put a new gasket on here, and the new part we bought will slide over this. Now, if they cut you too far back and you got no meat, if you still want to do this yourself, you can buy this entire pipe for about $250, or you can just buy the small one we bought for about $150 on Amazon. But anyway, I'm gonna start sliding this new one in, and then we'll see how it fits. Then we'll take a look at that O2 sensor. All right, so factory-wise, this part comes with a cap in here. There's an Allen key that's gonna fit into it, and then we're going to install our O2 sensor first. I say you need to install the O2 sensor first because if not, if you wire this in first, and it's locked in, when you try to spin this in, you're gonna twist the wire. So it's gonna be easier to just have this in, and then we'll feed it up through into the car to hook that up. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and then I'll feed it up into the car.
I grew up in a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race.
All right guys, I've got my catalytic converter down there prepped. I'm gonna put my new seal in here just to have that ready. Hopefully it can stay on there. The old one was actually still on there. It's probably still good, but we've got a new one. This setup came with new bolts, and the spring's good because the other person took them with them, or maybe they were in your driveway or wherever they stole it. I'm not sure, but then it comes with a clamp. Now, the only risk we have with this is if this doesn't get a good clamp, you might get a tiny bit of air, but I don't think we will because it's a really snug fit and it looks really good. And that's worst case, a quick little weld around, but I don't think we're gonna run into that because it's pretty well made. It's a perfect fit for the ID and OD. So I'm gonna slide that up into place around the gasket, slide it over the back pipe, and I'll get this clamp ready. We can add that afterwards, and I'll try to get my bolts started. I heard they're a little difficult, so let's see if this works out.
Told you how to run the race, every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see. Cause everybody wanna tell you bad things, what could go wrong, what fame brings. But success is a finicky thing, and if you ain't sure, no, it'll never be. I don't wanna let myself down, myself down. I don't wanna let myself down.
All right guys, I got the O2 sensor in. I've got my clamp started. I haven't really bit down on it yet. I got my two bolts started. I was having some problems getting them going. It seems pretty tight. It's up against the flange gasket there. I just don't really want to go much tighter and cause issues because I feel like I'm like really tight. And I think well, that's probably what's happening because the stud is bottoming out now on the flange. So that makes sense. That's what's supposed to happen, I believe. So I will now work on getting the O2 sensor hooked up here. So we're gonna have to run it through the car. You can see this is where the old one came down. So I'm going to lower the car, get that figured out, and then hopefully be able to pop this new one through there. Should be a tight fit, but see if we can get that done. All right guys, well if your thief wasn't nice like ours, they're just gonna cut the wire. So you gotta do the O2 sensor too. You gotta start by taking out some of these trim pieces. I'm gonna go through and start popping them out. I don't think there's any screws involved. Doesn't seem like it should just pop out because the O2 sensor is right here and actually wires up behind here. So take out your floor mats, take out your trim, and we gotta start peeling the carpet back. So we've got to pop it out of these. Yeah. Okay, so you can see this is our O2 sensor. Let's see if I can get it up out of there. And there's its plug. I'm gonna pull that off so we can get to it. I guess we can pull this up. All right. Let me try to feed the new one up from the bottom and then see if we can get this thing going. Okay, fed the new one up. I'm gonna take up a lot of that slack and push this boot back down. Do want to make sure that's in place. There, it's good. Pull this carpet back a little bit more so we can see our plug. Just gotta push it here, pop it out, pop the new one in, and that's good to go. Slide it back onto here. Then we start putting our carpet back and getting rid of this broken one. Okay. This piece of carpet over here, over this little stud, so make sure that lines up. Okay, we gotta put these loops back in. Easier said than done. I'm not sure it matters as much on the car, but we'll just do it anyway. One of those clips popped out from back there. I don't think it's gonna go back in. Okay, so we're all plugged in, good to go. Let me get my trim pieces back in. Now just the floor mat. Yeah, might as well, right? While we're here, I'm guessing you had a check engine light, right? Because your O2 sensor was doing nothing?
Yeah, it was on.
Yeah. Okay. That is all good to go. I'm going to take it up in the air and clamp some stuff down and see if it's quiet. Alright guys, so I am all wrapped up. I noticed this hanger's broken. I'm going to see if I have another one. I got this clamped down tight. Seems like it's going to do just fine for what we need. O2 sensor's in. I gave it a little bit of slack here. My front flange is in. It's tight. Everything seems good. We'll see how it does. I mean, I don't expect any problems. We use the factory nuts that were already on there. So we're going to give it a test, see if it's leaking. Hopefully this helped you out. I'm going to clear the codes as well, because obviously you're going to get a no 2 sensor code when this happened. But for, I'd say, what, 165 to 170 bucks, you get a no 2 sensor, a new cat, all the stuff you need to install it, and it's way better than the shop estimates of likely 1,500 to 2,000. So let's we'll test it out, and if this was helpful, please like, subscribe, share, and I appreciate it. See ya.